Hello, good evening, morning, afternoon, night, whatever it is, wherever you're at, and whenever you're watching. Whether you're watching now, as I'm just starting the stream here on Twitch, or whether you're watching the video later on YouTube, welcome back. We're playing Kenshi again. We're playing Kenshi again, boys. Now, I was gonna stream this yesterday. However, I was feeling a little not up to it. I was feeling a little not well. So I played Kenshi anyways. And I didn't play on a separate save. But I made sure to keep our gains minimal. And to keep the storyline of what we're intending to do intact. So, as a quick overview, what we did while we were gone. Or what I did while we were gone, rather. Genzurick here. Sporting a little bit of new equipment. Mostly, pilfered, as we can see. It says stolen. Mostly pilfered. Expanded the hideout here in the hub a little bit. Excuse me, I have to grab another drink. Give me 1 second. 1 second. I require another fizzy beverage. Ah, excellent, excellent. A nice Diet Cola. So, we recruited 2 companions to start out with. I only initially intended to recruit 1, and then I added a couple mods to the mod pack. Mostly just some quality of life stuff, but I decided just to be safe, and since we weren't too far into the game, to do an import, and it added an exact copy of our first companion. So I just recruited him too, took him to the plastic surgeon immediately, fixed him up. So for all intents and purposes, these are 2 wholly different characters. I decided to do what I've been doing lately is, unless it's a unique recruit, I am going to name them myself. Either by coming up with a name or using a random name generator. I'm pretty good with coming up with decent sounding names, either historical, mythological, cultural names, or just making something up that sounds vaguely like what I'm going for. Usually works. Anyways, so let's meet our 2 new recruits, our 2 new additions to the clan. Pythagoras. This is our research man. Alright. I've had him doing nothing but research and making electronics since he was recruited. So, we got up to tech level 3. And we got a few of the techs within tech level 3 that could be got with only books. Now, let me grab Genzurick real quick. I do have, appears 4 each now of engineering research and ancient science books. We're saving them. There's nothing we really urgently need at the moment on the tech tree that I have to have right now for our plans. Our schemes. So, we are hoarding those for now. As well, you can see I've begun hoarding basic supplies. Fabrics, leather, iron plates, so a little bit of building material, some armor plate, a little bit of fuel, some steel bars, some med kits, lots of raw meat in case we decide to get animals later, especially wolves. I'd like to get some boneyard wolves or bone dogs. Oh yeah, we got a better backpack on Genzurick. And also, I bought this dart gun to train crossbow skills and perception on Genzurick, and anyone else that we may later on want to train as a ranged boy. Alright. As a crossbow chad. So, one of the things that, as we can see, A lot of time has passed. We're on day 24 now. I spent a significant amount of time as I was not feeling great. Mostly my voice was kind of blown out, and I had a little tiny bit of a sore throat yesterday. So I did a lot of running around and fighting at first hungry bandits, and then graduated to dust bandits, and I've now graduated to triangle bandits, and the occasional holy paladin or group of holy servants that I find on the road. So Genzeric is quite a bit stronger than he was before. Melee attack 72, melee defense 58, 41 strength, 55 toughness, 69 dexterity. Nice. Very nice. 68 skill in sabers, which of course, the sword of his father, the blade of the father, the weapon that kicked off this change in lifestyle, that kicked off the saga of Genzeric Ulfing. Alright? Is a saber. Counts as a saber by weapon class. So he is quite powerful now with a, very good weapon and, mid to high level combat skills. He is quite a formidable opponent, even in light armor. We did get a dark leather turtleneck standard grade to replace the shoddy grade plain leather turtleneck we had before. Changed out his pants for high-grade Ronin cloth pants that I stole. Get a little more damage resistance on the legs. We still have the black Nomad cape as our belt item. Still have the standard grade wolf helmet. I cannot speak tonight. Wolf helmet in the head slot, and we got a standard grade dust coat as our main armor. And I really like the dust coat. It's probably my favorite vanilla armor item in the game, and is especially great for venturing into places where humans aren't supposed to go. It's, if you gotta send a group that is humans, Shek, Hivers, etc., any non-skeletons, into, say, wrong button, into, say, Brainlet Moment, Deadlands, or Burning Forest, right? Dust Coat will give you 80% acid protection if you can get, like, one more item. So see, we have 100% acid protection just between the two. Now, of course, the Nomad Cape isn't from a mod, but we're running a lot of mods. So, plans. Oh yeah, let's introduce our other new character, Sisyphus. Because I love ironic names. Sisyphus mines copper. He's very, very good at it, but that is his life. That is his entire existence for now. He is really taking one for the team here. Poor Sisyphus. Alright, unlike his compatriot Pythagoras, that works in a nice, fairly climate-controlled building with light and a bed nearby and food readily available, he just works making electronic components all day. Poor Sisyphus. Day or night, cold or hot, he's out here mining copper, or he's hauling copper back to the base. Now, normally, in the early game, I don't know why I never thought of this. I have like 500 and some hours into this game, and I never thought of this. One of my main early game, revenue streams, once I start recruiting people before, beyond one person, is usually to set up in a town somewhere, depending on what my start is. Considering that a lot of starts in the game start you at the hub, or near the hub. The hub is a good choice, but usually I just have them mine copper, and then every now and then I'll sell off the copper. But here's the thing. One piece of copper is worth 171. One electronic component is worth 211. And they're with a character with high science like Pythagoras. They are made quite quickly. They are, and all it costs to make them is copper and Pythagoras' time. And he ain't doing anything else because we're not researching anything right now because we're hoarding ancient science books. So, it seems production of electronic components though is outpacing our mining. So at some point, we will probably recruit another unfortunate soul into the fold of the clan, which is what these prisoner polls are for. These prisoner polls are here for recruitment. Alright? If we catch someone with a bounty, we're really only been pursuing bounties of people that are wanted by the Shek Kingdom, because that's the only place at the moment that we can go to unassailed of the major three factions. You know, the Shek, the whole Holy Nation, and the UC, the Empire. Right? These are the major three that hand out bounties, and well, we are absolutely despised and have a bounty on our head from the Holy Nation, and we have a bounty on our head, an equal price bounty on our head of 20,000 cats from the United Cities. Now, however, I made a mistake in the last stream, in the beginning. Something I didn't realize. I ended up looking it up because I was kind of sussing out how I was going to continue and what my political moves might be in the future. And I realized that the faction you start out in negative 100 with for the UC is not the whole, not the UC themselves, not the United Cities Empire themselves, but the quote-unquote Imperial Lords faction, which doesn't actually really exist in the game, apparently, according to the wiki. So I just dropped that shit off of the thing. I have a mod installed, or that has a pacifier that will eliminate your negative reputation with a faction for a hefty fee of 100,000 cats. Yes, I raised the 100,000 cats. I figured that would be an in-RP thing to do, is that Genzeric, he's not stupid. Alright, he's not a dumb man. He knows that he's in a precarious situation still. That without safe harbor, essentially, outside of what little safe harbor we have here in the hub, we're never going to get anywhere. He's never going to get anywhere. So, sides have to be picked, not implicitly or explicitly, but implicitly. Right? That you can't be neutral on a moving train, and that the enemy of my enemy can possibly be my friend. That is not a guarantee by any means. However, it would, a smart man presented with two enemies would decide to play them off of each other, right? So, what we're going to do at some point, I don't know if we're going to do it tonight, but we will at some point. I'm going to have someone else from the clan, probably a recruit, go with us, with Genzeric, all the way down here. I found that if you're going straight from the hub to Clown Steady, this is the best route. Well, the best route would really be to go through Squin, past the Great Fortress, all the way through here, down through here into the south wetlands and straight to Clownsteady. You avoid most of the swamp that way, but I've found usually the best route, for me at least, is to go to Squin, go south from Squin, and hug the edge of the swamp, and go through this way still. So if you go through this way, the game gets laggy as hell. You have to stop to load every 2 seconds. It's a little more forgiving over here in the Spider Plains. Yes, it's the Spider Plains, but usually don't run into too many spiders you can't outrun over here. Anyways, we're gonna have them, stop probably somewhere just right outside of town. And the other member of the clan will turn in Genseric for his bounty to the UC, and then turn around and bail him out. Which means we will be losing a lot of the money that we've gained. We'll essentially be losing 20,000 cats. Because you have to pay double the bounty to get them out, but you get the bounty in the first place. So you're essentially only paying 20,000 cats out of pocket, but that's still a lot of money. It's a lot of money, Arthur. Alright? But anyways, for now, we're kind of continuing to raise funds by, excuse me. Oh, game's auto-saving. It freezes the game for a second every time it does that. Probably the 200 plus mods probably don't help. We're gonna continue that, alright. But oh yeah, I also bought this building and set up our training facility for new recruits. Alright, they will train melee attack a little bit, they'll train melee defense a little bit, they'll get their athletics up, they'll get their strength up, and I'm going to probably add, he's taking a weird path, add a couple punching bags to the roof, so they can train dexterity a little bit as well. Not to crazy levels, just enough to get them started. Right? We're not going to train everybody up into super soldiers before they ever see combat. We're going to use things sparingly. They will spend a lot of time fighting bandits out in the wilds. But in the meantime, let's take a look around. One thing we're always going to be on the lookout for now is possible new recruits. Possible new recruits. These are nomads. I don't want to piss off the nomads. They are valuable trade partners. But we got a lot of random hobos and shit that hang out around here, and they can be indentured. Alright? Nobody's gonna care if I grab some goofball off the street and, offer them a semi-voluntary contract of employment. These are all caravan guards from the Traders Guild, another group that I definitely do not want to make enemies with. I have enough of those as is. And of course, we can always recruit starving bandits, hungry bandits, dust bandits that we capture in battle, even. But that's a slightly more laborious process, right? Just gonna see real quick if there's anything good that we just can't live without at the other bar. This is one advantage to the hub. You've got 2 bar traders that have pretty significant inventories. Oh, an ancient science book. I do need that. We're good on food. We have stocked up a lot on food. We're good on food for now. I need to keep telling myself that. And we'll buy more. Yeah, we'll buy more. We're going to make more money. We can spend money right now. We've got at least like 20,000 cats worth of electrical components just chilling, just bing-chilling in our storage right now. So I ain't worried about it. Alright? We can always make more money, Arthur. Alright? We'll grab a few more building supplies as well. Take those back to the hub. But the goal tonight is to get rid of our UC bounty. Recruit a few people to do our more laborious tasks, and maybe a couple people to start training up into a proper battle squad. Alright, let's put the rest of this away. In the good old storage chest. The good old bottomless storage chest. Because I'm a lazy man. So, let's scout out the local hobo population. Alright. Someone wants to live a life of indentured servitude to me. Via the right of might. Okay, I can just not... If I can knock you out and put you in a cage, or tie you to a pole, you are contractually obligated to work for me. Any hobos hanging out in here? Oh no, there's some trash though. The distinctive scent and trail of the poor. Where are they? There was a whole shit ton of them here a little while back. Where'd they all go? No, y'all ain't sleeping. Now you're all out here looking for drugs. I kid. We can check the bar though. I have successfully knocked people out and stolen them from the bar. Alright. Let's see. Bar Thug. Bar Thug Drunk. Bar Thug Drunk number 2. There's our Hounds pacifier. That's their vanilla. Pal, he is a very expensive but very worth it recruit that we can get later. Who already has like 75 smithing, both armor and weapon. Let's see if I can steal one of these drunks. Oh, I can absolutely steal one of these drunks. Yeah. Mine. Mine. Alright. We have officially stolen ourselves an alcoholic. Step 1 complete. I hope you enjoy the mines, boy. You're going straight to the mines. Alright, let's put him on the pole. And loot him. Yeah, I'll be taking that sword. You're not going to need that chain shirt, trust me. You know what, you're not even going to need that jacket. Alright, you're going to be a shirtless, hat-wearing miner. Because you have awful skills. Somehow you got actually hurt though, so let's patch you up first. He's gonna be unconscious for a minute. So let's just wait him out. Oh, gotta hold in a sneeze real quick. Okay, we're good. False alarm. Let's just patiently wait for him to wake up. Hey, buddy. What do you do with me? I can't go back. If I let you go, will you join our cause? Oh, I gotta get some food for him. I gotta grab some food. He's hungry. He's a hungry drunk, okay? I understand this. I, as well, get the drunk munchies. Either that or he's just legitimately starving. Don't care. Agree to the indentured servitude contract. Or else. So we're gonna just basically grab one of everything, because sometimes they'll ask for something specific, sometimes they won't. Close enough. Close enough to one of everything. Alright, let's wave food in front of this homeless drunk's face, and convince him that life in the mines is preferable to life as a beggar. If I let you go, will you join me? Yeah! Yeah, I'll give you some go hand. Alright. What are we going to name this mustachioed gentleman? Oh my god, we're gonna fix that hair. You look like an absolute buffoon. We're keeping the mustache. Or we'll possibly keep the mustache. Alright, you know what? We'll keep a little bit of a mohawk, but this mohawk's gonna be a little less extreme for this guy. And you know what? I'm digging the stash. He can keep the stash. Alright. And he can continue to look like a little goblin man. Alright. A wide little creature. He's a wide little creature. And what are we going to name him? What are we going to name him? What's something that fits, right? I want to give my people believable sounding names, right? Servilius. Because he is my servile boy that's going to work in the mines. You're free, Servilius. Join the hideout squad. Which I'm going to rename now. We're a little more public now, alright? We're going to rename this to Hub Industries. Because that's what Hub is going to be for a while. It's our main source of income. Now, Servilius, I know I just knocked you out unconscious and essentially extorted you into working for me with the promise of food. Go ahead and get to the mines. Get to the mines, Servilius. And go ahead and put Hall 2 as your secondary job. Excellent. Now, hopefully after a short time of him getting up to par with his laboring skill, this will increase our output of straight copper ore, which will in turn ensure a steady supply of our cash crop of electrical components. Oh, poor doggy. Poor doggy is dead. I'd call dibs on his skin. Who did they just fuck up? Hungry Bandits? I guess the Bone Dog was probably following the Hungry Bandits and just got wrapped up in all this. Dibs on his skin. And his teeth. And these are hungry boys. They're not going to have anything worth our time on them. We've graduated beyond this. No, we've become far too powerful to be stealing the iron sticks of hungry boys. No, 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 siree. We're far too powerful for that. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and throw this raw meat and the rest of this food in storage. And sell everything else. Because Servilius ain't going to need this stuff, alright? He ain't going to need it. No more. It's life in the mines for him for now. But don't worry, those of us who serve, those who serve the clan greatly will be rewarded in time. In time. But for now, there's much, much work to be done. We'll get a few cats out of this. We need every cent we can get. Alright, 34,000. Let's go ahead and sell off our surplus of electronic components. We don't need a lot of them. Hello! How we doing, Spring? Mr. Spring, excuse me. How dare I be so informal? How dare I be so informal? How are you doing tonight? Alright. Let's go ahead and sell some of these off, make a little bit of money. Because if we're going to pay off Gensrick's bounty with the United Cities and ensure that we can do business in their territory, you can address me as Sir Spring. Herr Spring. Alright, that puts us at, what? It's 39,000. We will come back and sell more. But for now, the boys, the servile boys, the employees of Hub Industries. Now, mind you, Pythagoras has it good. He is not an indentured servant. He is a valued member of the team, alright? Who else has 83 science skill around here? Gensrick. Gensrick, mind you, is a cunning man of great skill, but a scientist he is not. Alright? That does not have any desire to be. This man is almost as valuable as Gensrick at this point. But these two boys, they're only here because they can swing a pickaxe. Alright? They're replaceable. And I am going to need at least one more recruit. So, once again, let us scout out the local homeless population for a juicy target. No, nobody over here. You know, seems like just a couple in-game days ago, this place was full of people. This place was bustling with the homeless. But it seems over time they've kind of... Oh, what's going on over here? What's going on over here? Well, hello, hello there. You do not look like you're doing too well. You're probably beyond saving. Or at least beyond my ability to care about saving. Now, let's see here. Let's find one that's got some gumption. This one looks like he's got some spirit left in him. This one's got some fight left in him. Bonk. Alright. I'm going to take your stick. Not because I care about having it, but because it won't let me recruit you if you're still armed when I put you into the pole. That sounds wrong. When I put you on the... That sounds even worse. Oh, God. Oh, God, what have I done? I've acted a little sus. Little sus. So let's go ahead and put him into the restraint device. Okay, that still sounds... No way that I say this is going to sound good. Let's heal him up. At least heal him up enough that he will regain consciousness and not immediately perish. Loot. I should give him some food. Just so he doesn't starve in case I forget about him for a couple days. I've done that before. I've grabbed a hungry boy with the intention of recruiting them, stuck them in a cage, and forgotten about them until... He ate it. He ate it! And forgot about them until they starved to death. I'm not proud of this, but it happened in a different playthrough. There we go. He won't starve for a while now. He can recover somewhat in peace. I don't know how he's in this wacky position. He is literally off. This man has broken physics. It appears I have picked the correct man for the job of being the first of my indentured warriors. All right, my slave immortal. I mean, excuse me, we're not promoting slavery here. It is. What was the term I was using? Semi-voluntary contracts of employment. Semi-voluntary permanent contracts of employment. All right. He's gonna love it here. He's gonna love running on the treadmill for a week straight until his athletic skill is up to par. He's gonna love it here. In the meantime, we'll sell off this stick, and we'll get back to Gensrik's training. He must become even more powerful. Now, mind you, Gensrik is no slouch at this point. He is an accomplished warrior. Whether that is through his own skill purely, or some power of his father's sword, we don't know. Who cares? As long as he becomes powerful. As long as he becomes powerful and does not become consumed by some sort of strange sword demon. So, we're gonna head over to Dust Bandit Turf and stir up a ruckus. We're gonna do a little trolling. We're gonna be a little mischievous. We're gonna go knock on their door and say hello. See how they're doing. See if they need anything. They're such a friendly bunch of fellows. So enjoy their company. Not an ounce of sarcasm intended, of course, of course. Onward to Dusty Boy Town. Now, last I checked, there was a bunch of there was a couple Dust Bandit nests, camps, whatever you want to call them, over here right by Dust King Tower. Is this listed as dead? No. So there's still boys over there. The boys are back in town. The boys are indeed back in town. Yeah, I've been grinding this encampment for a while and on purpose, not killing all of them, right? Just luring a few at a time, beating them up, stealing their clothes, taking their shoes as a form of humiliation. Hello, I'm back. The boys are back in town. Come on, let's party, boys. Come on. 18 naked dust bandits in showers of... no, no, my lawyer has advised me not to finish this bit. Point blanked with a crossbow for 1 damage. Amazing. Amazing. There we go. This is how we get our melee defense up. And a little bit of toughness, because he's not going to block every shot, right? He's going to take a few shots, and that's fine, as long as he doesn't get completely bodied. Patch ourselves up a little bit. See, we're gaining toughness. We're gaining toughness. We're becoming more powerful. And we'll leave him, you know what, we'll leave him with his helmet and his shoes, alright? Not gonna completely destroy the man. Leave him with his boots and shoes. I'm doing him a kindness. The man attacked me. What am I supposed to do, huh? If anything, I am being a great and generous god. Oh, there we go. That looks far better. Previously, it looked quite disgusting. Now, individually, these items don't sell for much, and really, we won't, even with a full backpack, we won't make a massive haul. But the point is to have at least some economic profit from this endeavor. At least just a crumb. Just a crumb of cats. Just a crumb. Just a crumb. Come on. Come on. Follow me. Follow me to the death pit. Oh. Come here, Dust Boss. Finally, a worthy opponent. He just got shot in the back by his buddy. Oop. Oh, pathetic. Never mind, you were not a worthy opponent. You have done shame upon your house. This one I am taking your shoes and hat. Pathetic. Whew. Hub Industries is being attacked. Civilius, no! Who's attacking you? Doggos. Doggo-chan. Servilius, you're slow as shit. Get out of there. Oh, don't tell me they're gonna camp him. Don't tell me they're gonna camp him. Let's see. See if they're gonna camp him. Okay, we'll check back on him if it starts flashing red again. Whew. Sorry, give me 1 second. It is a little extra warm in here. Doesn't help that one of the vents for the central heat in this house is right by the front door of my office, and of course this office is not large, so it gets hot in here pretty quick. Especially I'm the guy that likes to wear I'm the kind of guy that likes to keep it fairly cool in the house and wear a hoodie around the house. My wife, on the other hand, complete opposite. Wants it hot. Hey, saying I murdered their friend. They're probably right. They're probably right. They're most definitely probably right. There we go. We can pull more of these guys. How cute that they think they're going to be able to best Genseric, the Wolf of the Border Zone. All right, that's a horrible title. I'm not keeping that one. We're not even important yet. We own a hovel in the hub that produces a small number of electronic components. Let's not get a big head yet. Let's not get a big head yet. We could still easily be crushed and destroyed by most major factions. Excellent. Thin out their numbers enough that, this is another dust boss. Excellent. See, we've made We've already made our money back from all the things we bought just in the pocket change we've taken off of the unfortunate bandits. The less fortunate among us. I didn't even mean that to be an among us bit. Sorry, I apologize. No, I don't. What am I talking about? I am unrepentant in my cringe. What am I talking about? I never apologize for being cringe. I must embrace my identity as El Gobelino, bringer of cringe. I'm probably not even gonna loot these last few guys. I'm not even gonna bother schwacking that guy right now. Oh god, that guy's having a time. Guy's having a time over there, just twitching all over the place on the ground. We're gonna go ahead and patch ourselves up. It is certainly a sight to see, Gensrick, though. I'm slightly worried that you've begun talking to yourself when no one else is around. Though, to be fair, who doesn't every now and then talk to themselves, especially when they see something nice, alright? Wholesome post-apocalyptic moment, alright? Even in the darkest of times, you can see something nice. Though I fucking hate the word wholesome, and every time someone says wholesome unironically, I get that animalistic urge to start going to just, you know, and to beat them over the head with a large rock. A large stone, a boulder perhaps. Perhaps a small boulder. Perhaps. I don't know why the word... Probably because it's a Reddit thing, and I despise Reddit even though I use it for watching videos of people beating the shit out of each other with their hands. And feet. Fight videos. That's what Reddit is good for, is combat footage and fight videos. Anyways, back to the hub real quick to sell off our somewhat ill-begotten gains. Somewhat ill-begotten, I guess. If you rob bad people, is that really a crime? If you're robbing people who gained their wealth solely via robbery, assault, and murder, is that really a moral wrong? I don't think so. I think in an age where there is very little law and order, sometimes it is not only moral but necessary for the common man to take the law into his own hands when presented with resounding evidence of the wrongs of another. Welcome to Political Theory with Tiervarg. The Socio-political theory with Tiervarg. Do I think that vigilante justice on a large societal scale is okay? Absolutely not. That is how you get bad people exploiting the system, right? However, those in power, those with the authority to enforce morals and law upon society, are not everywhere all at once. It is a good, upstanding moral man's duty to ensure the safety of his family and community, is it not? In that vein, I would say one of the greatest areas to hit someone who makes their livelihood on the suffering of others would be to hit them in their wallet, right? Why do people commit crimes? For money, usually, right? Money, power, but usually money, right? Why would people risk imprisonment for the lion's share, the majority of crimes, if not for this guy's got a, oh, it's just local. I don't know why they keep doing this. Oof, this one lost a leg. And this one, just got fucked up a little bit. This one's got pretty good skills, though. You know, I could just pick this one up and, I could just, you know, cart this man off to the pole. To the pole you go. You seem like you could be useful to me someday. Therefore, you're going on the pole. You're probably not even a bad guy. You're just a rebel to an enemy of mine. But hey, the enemy of my enemy can indeed become my friend, right? I'll be taking that. I will allow you your first aid kits in your armor, though, because you seem like you will be useful as a warrior. A warrior, but I'm taking this for now. I'll give it back to you if you're good. I'll give it back to you if you're good, like you're a 5-year-old. You're a 5-year-old, and I've taken away your favorite toy because you were misbehaving. But also, that is a decent crossbow. It's nothing crazy, but I like the Ranger. It's a good little crossbow, alright? Good kind of, it's like the Glock of crossbows, right? It's ubiquitous, it's everywhere, it takes regular ammo, it's nothing, doesn't do anything fancy, doesn't do anything special, doesn't do anything crazy, but it works, and it's gonna work with very, you know, little, needed extra skill on the user, right? You don't need to have a guy at 80 crossbow for him to be useful with a Ranger. A guy with 40 crossbow will still slay a lot of face with a Ranger, especially against unarmored opponents, right? He's going to do some decent damage. Katanas I'm actually not too crazy about. Katanas are great for fighting off like cannibals. Or like fogmen. But especially like cannibals, human factions that don't wear armor is what katanas are really good for. That's not really our bag right now. We're fighting bandits that do wear some armor. Hey, how you doing, Whiskey Rose? How's it going today? You missed our socio-political talk on whether it is okay to rob wrongdoers. Unarmed number 1. I'm gonna die on this hill. I don't really like martial arts in Kenshi. One, because it's really One, I just like swords. One, I just like weapons. I like swords. Which is funny because I'm more of a martial arts guy in real life. I've been doing martial arts for almost 2 decades now. For almost 20 years I've been doing some form of martial arts. I'm just not a big fan of it in Kenshi. I get that it's a fantasy world essentially. But I don't know. When I play Kenshi, I imagine myself more as like a barbarian warlord rather than like a traveling martial artist. Though a traveling warrior monk would be a cool playthrough to do. But that's not the playthrough we're doing this time. Though we may have we may train some characters in martial arts, especially like our miners and farmers and stuff like that, people that don't really carry weapons on the regular. We may train them up in the basics of martial art at some point, just in case they get attacked. But our main boy, our protagonist, Genzeric, the holder of the sword of his father, alright, the reason why he's hated by the Holy Nation, and has a bounty on him from the UC, but is not hated by the UC. That is an important distinction, that he is not hated by the UC. Now, let's see if our first prospective employee is ready to talk. Let's consider this a job interview process. This is going to be his job interview. I bet he's very excited. Oh, I bet he's very excited for his interview. If he's awake. Oh. I forgot when you need to turn jobs off or he's going to keep putting the food away. Didn't an exterminator monk who singly had... That's awesome. That would be a great skeleton playthrough. Is like psycho skeleton martial artist that just is out to, you know, do a bender and kill all humans. That would be badass, man. Alright. Let's talk to this Hungy bandit, who is a prospective recruit to be the first of our war band. Alright. If I let you go, will you join our cause? Really, I'm just so hungry. You'll feed me, right? I mean, you gotta keep me alive if you want me to be useful, yeah? Yeah, you'll get some grub. I got plans for you. You get rice? As a matter of fact, I do, right here. Join us and you'll be getting all the rice you could eat. Alright. What should we name this gentleman? I'm going to give him just a little bit of height. Otherwise, short characters in this game have really weird proportions, so I usually put them around 100 height for male characters. Otherwise, they look like little squats. They look like squat little goblin men. So let's see. This guy's got a kind of barbaric look about him, a little bit kind of like Genzeric does. So let's go with a barbaric name. Good barbarian warrior name. I've got one. Odoacer. Odoacer. Welcome to the team. Let's get you out of there. Let's let you out. Set you free. You're gonna immediately limp to the bed and sleep. That's okay. You're gonna need it. Training begins tomorrow, whether you're ready or not. So we're gonna create a new squad. The Warband. Odoacer. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right because let's just say I'm not up on my Proto-Germanic or my late Roman era Germanic language. I have a somewhat of a knowledge of Old Norse, a very small amount, but anyways. This was a Scorchlander who was betrayed, sold to the Holy Nashville? The Holy Nashville. He was taken to the Great Bass Pro Shops Pyramid in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm sorry. I get what you meant. That is a really cool character backstory, though. I like that. I like giving my main, at least my protag, in whatever playthrough I'm doing, a good backstory. I haven't really completely fleshed out like an idea of a backstory for Genzeric, other than his father was some sort of barbarian chieftain who really pissed off the Holy Nation in the UC, got schwacked for it, but gave his sword to his son, and essentially his son had to book out of there. That's the kind of what I'm going for. The Holy Nashville. Yes. I wish there was a post-apocalyptic game set in America that included the Bass Pro Shops Pyramid in Memphis. So I could become the warlord of, Alright, he's gonna be out for a while. He's gonna be out for a little while yet. Let's give him some time to think about his actions, or think about his actions as if I didn't just pick him up unconscious off the sidewalk. If anything, we've done Jin here a service. Alright, because he was knocked out on the street bleeding out. We picked him up, we saved his life. We put him on the pole. Alright, he's gonna be our boy, alright? We don't have any qualms about recruiting Holy Nation outlaws because they already hate us. They already hate us. He's got a sentence of 27 hours. What? Is it because... Oh, it's because he accrued a bounty with the trade ninjas who own this town, right? Technically. And I put him in prison in the town, so he's actually serving his sentence. There's a YouTube called... There's a lot of good Kenshi YouTubers that I've seen lately, though. God, I'm trying to remember the name of it. There's a guy who does, like, just Kenshi playthroughs purely as story, whereas I like to think that I have a decent mix of telling a story, and I would recruit her as well, but she's got no left leg, and I don't want to bother getting robotics for her. TBH. But I put them on when I need to go to sleep. The like more story focused Kenshi YouTubers. It's good sleep sound because I, as anyone who has been around the either Twitch or YouTube, my channels, for a while knows I have quite bad tinnitus. I think Rust Hill is one of them. I've got several that I kind of put on a rotating playlist to sleep. But that sounds vaguely right. I don't remember offhand. Like I said, there's a few. These drug peddlers. These guys will sometimes come to your settlement and sell you drugs. Sweet, sweet drugs. They're also a pretty good source of hemp if I don't want to like leave my base to go get more hemp to seed crops. But anyways, I've kind of decided on what is going to be our mid-game goal for this playthrough, right? As I was saying earlier, our early game goal here is to essentially somewhat work our way out of the situation that we're wanted everywhere except Shet Kingdom. Excuse me, give me just 1 second, I got an itch in my throat. Oh, sorry about that. I had to mute my mic for a second. Something just suddenly hit the back of my throat and I had to cough really bad. Neil deGrasse Tyson is my sleep sounds. I'm sorry. No, I'm just kidding. Some people like him. Not a big fan. Not a big fan, but to each their own. I'm not gonna shit on what relaxes others. I'm not that kind of guy. Not that kind of guy, pal. Unless it was something incredibly strange. If you listened to like DeviantArt fan fiction readings as you go to sleep thing, I might judge a little bit. I might kink shame a little bit on that. If you were listening to like Harry Potter vor fan fiction to go to sleep, I might be like, okay, that's a little off kilter, bud. but you know, I'm not gonna shame you for that. It used to be my thing used to be history videos. I'm a big history guy. I like history. History is cool. You get some stories in history that are way more wacky and off the wall than shit that anyone could come up with for fiction. And videos about that kind of stuff is a great thing to sleep to for me. But I kind of got bored of that for a while, so I was like, you know what? Story-focused Kenshi playthroughs. That'll put me out. It's just like I've had insomnia since I was very young, right? As long as I can remember, I've had a massive hard time with sleep. Ambien did not help. Ambien made it worse because I would just still not fall asleep, and then I'd start having happy fun time with the Hat Man. And, you know, hallucinogenic effects, essentially, right? Not fun. Not fun at all for, like, 11-year-old me the first time that happened. But, and of course, things like Benadryl and melatonin don't help. Mag. Oh god, yeah. Yeah, I keep trying to fuck with the ads. I'm sorry. It seems to do nothing. When I fuck with the ads, and it seems to do not shit. So, sorry about that. I apologize, it's Twitch. And we're back! And we're back! Welcome back, everyone. But yes, macaroni ASMR would be an awful... Here's the thing, I know some weirdos, alright? I know some weirdos. I'm not judging you, weirdos, because we're all weirdos, a little bit. But I know some weirdos that go to sleep to, like, ASMR stuff. And, good for you. Good for them, I mean. Like, but a little strange to me. Little strange to me. Alright. Wow, we barely took any hits during that one, and we are continuing to become more powerful. 71 dexterity, there we go. I think that's going to be enough grinding out for Genzrick alone for right now. And I think by the time we get back, sell off the ill-gotten gains here. And everything that, oh. Barely even noticed those bandits were going so fast. That were... I already forgot what... Odoacer. Odoacer should be, in good enough shape to start training by the time we get back and do all that stuff. Thank you, thank you. Oh, good thing I built a lot of batteries. Because something about the hub, man. Something about the hub. Just... half the time, we don't have wind. So, If you want to be able to do wind power, you need batteries. Because I am far too lazy to set someone to continually refill a generator. What can I say? I'm a set and forget kind of guy. Because I will forget. And no, my luck, I'd forget to buy more fuel for it. Crushboard is probably the word. Oh! 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 Yeah. Ugh. Let's not get into it. I don't want to get too deep into people's weird, fetishes tonight. But yes. There is some strange ones out there. Some very off-the-wall things people are into. And I think that's just I think it's a consequence of, like, the over-sexualization of society, right? Society's become so sexualized that normal sexual acts seem mundane, so people, in order to gain the kind of thrill that one doesn't get anymore from normal actions, they pursue stranger and stranger acts until they, spiral down a slippery slope. Balls deep, indeed. Indeed. Bravo deep, as a wise man once said. Let me do a little trick real quick, and because there is a bug with the Recruit Anyone mod or Recruit Prisoners mod. Save again just to make sure. And then we'll reload the save. Give me 1 second. It might freeze up for just a second. And that's just a Kenshi thing. And it will take a minute to load back in because it's Kenshi. It's Kenshi. This game is running off of a very old engine and basically running off of spit and duct tape. So we'll reload this real quick because the Recruitable Prisoners / like Recruit Anyone mod has a bug that makes it where people won't eat on their own. You have to like force feed them by putting food in their inventory. And luckily it is quickly solved by just reloading the game. Speaking of sexual deviants, have you had to Greco-Roman naked body slam any more violent shoplifters? I almost had to today. Though it wasn't shoplifters, it was just very, very aggressive homeless people camping outside of the front door of the store and like aggressively panhandling right outside the front doors of the store. For context, I forget sometimes that not everyone is a regular here. We often tell some wacky stories about my many years in retail here, but I currently work at a gun store, which is like a department within a larger department store, right? It's a family-owned business, and we do not fuck around when it comes to shoplifters, vagrants, etc., causing trouble. Hence, last week's dude pulled a knife on me, and I had to tackle him to the ground incident. I got a little cut. I got a little nice. I'm gonna get a nice little scar to remind me of him. But we have a silly time. Time for you and me. Oh my god. So here's a great story from the other day. All right. Now, mind you, I live in America. Okay. So I own firearms. I'm a hobbyist, one might say. By the way, we're gonna go check the weigh station to see if they've got anything good while we're waiting for Odoacer to get up to a decent level of athletics. He's already up to 12, so I'd like to get him up to like the 50s or 60s at least, so that he can keep up at least somewhat with Genzrik's 88 athletics. Anyways, night after the incident. Alright, what I'm calling the incident. Alright. I was... I was calm about the whole thing. I had given myself some time to de-stress and wind down after getting a knife pulled on me, because I've been stabbed before, and it is a rather unpleasant experience. I would much rather get shot if I had to pick one of the two. And I wake up I snap awake. Now, no, normally I'm pretty groggy when I first wake up, but I snapped immediately to like alert mode. Woke up and I heard voices inside my house. Now, mind you, I live out in the country a little bit, so it's not a bad neighborhood. However, there's still crime, right? There's a lot of theft in the area. People breaking into what they think are abandoned houses, people breaking into cars, people stealing cars, stuff like that is far more prevalent in town, but it is still a problem. Every now and then the local miscreants do come out to my neck of the woods. So, I immediately, as soon as I wake up and hear a voice inside my house, I grab one of my pistols. I go to my gun room quickly, like clearing the room that I grab a flashlight and a pistol from the bedroom, and I boom boom check the hallway. I go to the room that has the rest of my firearms locked up in it. I grab my shotgun that has a flashlight on it. I clear the rest of the house. I'm like, what the hell was that? Because I very clearly heard a voice inside my house. And then I hear from my office, where where all my work stuff is, I hear charge battery over and over again. I had left my radio that I use at work on, which is normally just like to say like, hey, you know, hey, I need a manager to the gun counter or whatever, right? I'd left it on, and it started barking at me in the middle of the night to charge it, and I thought there was a fucking burglar in my house, so I cleared that shit. I was like, I was on it too. I was like, you picked the wrong house, fool, right? Like, you picked the wrong fucking house. And initially it did pop into my head too that like, why isn't my German Shepherd alerting? Because normally, if a car he doesn't recognize pulls up to the house, he flips. He alerts. Like he doesn't go crazy, but he'll start barking and he'll like post up by the door. So I was initially thinking like, why isn't he barking? Like, what the fuck? But you never know. Somebody could have fucking whacked my dog over the head with a fucking club and been talking in my house for all I knew. Right? You can't assume anything when there's the possibility of a dangerous situation, right? But all was fine. All was quiet on the Western Front. That is a terrible expression to use for everything being okay. Let's see. You got anything cool? Got anything I don't have that I need to have? A lot of backpacks I don't really need right now. Meat. No ancient science books or engineering research. These places will have one or maybe two every now and then. Disabled your dog with belly rubs. True. That would work on my husky. She is not strange or aggressive at all. Now, she's intuitive. There's definitely been people that she was like, I don't know about you, I don't want to be close to you, and she's barked at people before, and like, she's bit one person ever, and that was an idiot who fucking was fucking with her, like, in public, and stuck his hand near her mouth, and after she warned him a couple times with a little aroo, and I was always telling the guy, you better fucking back up, she will take your fucking hand. And, he gave her a little nip. True. True. Though, sometimes being big and being skilled does also make you a target. Now, mind you, I'm not a big guy, but I'm well trained, and I still occasionally have had people try and start shit, though it's usually someone who is intoxicated in one form or another. I've definitely had a few encounters over the past 6 months to a year where I politely turned down the panhandling advances of one of America's many homeless people, only to be regarded with violence for this. Um, like, I don't make a lot of money, right, at my job. I make minimum wage. Now, mind you, I chose this job. I do this job not because of money necessarily. Like, obviously, I work to pay my bills, but I chose my job not for money, but because I enjoy it. Because I got really sick of continuing to work at jobs that I hated, where I dreaded getting up and going to work every day. I made the personal choice that I would rather live with a little less money than continue to work jobs that I fucking hate. Interesting cover over right now and whisper outside your window. I mean, that's a good way to eat some buckshot. That's a good way to accidentally encounter some steel-plated or some nickel-plated lead bearings at high velocity. Alright, looks like we've got a pretty clear path around. So, I'm going to continue to check up on our prisoners. I mean, our soon-to-be employees. Our soon-to-be employees. Our soon-to-be employees. And, well, you know what? Odoacer already is an employee. How's he doing? He's at the 31 athletics already. The treadmill is effective. The treadmill has proven itself. Now, are we going to have to feed this other guy to recruit him? I don't know. So, better sorry than safe. Or verse versa. Perhaps. Perhaps. Grab one of everything, because sometimes they ask for something specific, sometimes they don't. And it's really a pain in the ass to run back and forth with my food barrel. Just hide Bluetooth speakers around the place. I used to do that at my previous job. I bought several cheapo Bluetooth speakers off of Amazon, and I would randomly connect to different ones and blare like Smash Mouth or Caramel Dancin' at work, because I worked in the back room at Walmart. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I live out in the country, bro. If I hear tapping all around the walls, I'm gonna assume it's rats, or mice, or a skunk, or maybe a coyote. At which point, I am gonna shoot at it if it's a coyote. if it's a dang old coyote, swear to God I will. Yes, sir. Looks like you folk aren't doing too bad for yourselves. We're not poor, if that's what you're saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. You got money, and I'm the best sword you're likely to meet. It's a pretty big brag. You able to back that up? Just honesty. Fair enough. What's your price? 20,000 cats. You know what? Let's do it. Wait, really? Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. Why not? Why not? You know, I think Jin can keep his name. Let's, maybe make him a little wider. A little wider, but we'll mostly keep him. Damn, he caked up. He's kind of thick, though. That is cruel and unusual. I like it. I like it. Hiding Bluetooth speakers in the grid ceilings at schools. All I've ever hidden in a grid ceiling was I hid some... So when I was in basic training for the Army back in 2009, in the chow hall... Now, mind you, you are not allowed to take anything out of that chow hall that you did not bring in with you. Right? They had like a little condiment bar thing that had like fucking ketchup packets and stuff like that. But they had peanut butter packets. And those things were gold. If you could smuggle those out of the chow hall and keep your hands on them. Hey, Zardoz is pleased. Thank you for the follow, Whiskey Rose. Thank you. But anyways, we hoarded... Well, I smuggled so many of them peanut butter packets out of there. They caught on to what we were doing eventually and took the peanut butter packets away from us. We bring Boozer Hall... Dude, there ain't no law when you're on the claw, brother. I keep joking about it, but I've never actually had a White Claw. I've had one of the off-brand White Claws, and it was not great. I was not a fan. Which is weird because I like I wouldn't say I like La Croix, but I do like Perrier and San Pellegrino especially sparkly water. It's pretty good. Pretty good. I enjoy it. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put Jin in the warband squad, and let's force feed him because I don't want to reload the game again right now. Oh, we've already got food in our inventory. They're meh. Yeah, that's what I figured. That's what I figured. For the most part, if like white girls in their 20s like it, I don't. And that's not like a thing of principle or anything, that just tends to be my taste. Like my wife loves my cards. Not a fan. Mike's Hard Lemonade. The fucking mango ones especially. Not a fan. Not a big fan. Alright, anyways. How are you doing on your athletics there, bud? 33? It's gonna be a minute until you're ready to make the clown steady run. The clown steady run. And you know what? You're good enough. You are healthy enough to get out of bed and run. It's only your stomach and your torso that's injured, not your entire body. Come on. You're good. You're only malnourished and wounded. I was an a-hole in school, but was never really cut. Dude, that's the way to be, alright? I was a mischievous little devil, especially my last 2 years of high school. But, everyone thought I was Mr. Nice Guy, even though I was, like, the weed dealer of the school. I sold weed to all the rich kids, so I was well liked and respected, and all their parents thought I was a good kid. Just from the wrong side of the tracks, you know, because I was a poor kid. But anyways, we need to make some goddamn money, Arthur. Alright, because when we make the clown steady run, we're going to lose 20,000 cats right off the top. Right off the top, we're going to lose 20,000 cats. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, what we're going to do, sell off some more surplus. Yeah, there we go. We got plenty of surplus electricals. Alright. Jobs are still deactivated, so we won't automatically put them away. I'm just going to take all of them. We're continually producing these, and I'm not building anything right now that needs them. So, because there's enough battery charge on this place to meet our current power needs for many days. What's with your hair? Bro, you were one to talk. Look at this dude. Look at the top of his head. Look at his lips. No way, Jose. Get out of here with that shit. He's a nomad. He doesn't know any better, alright? He's just a country bumpkin. He didn't mean anything by it. He didn't mean anything by it. Oh, I was struck by the ad demon again. Thank you, Twitch. Thank you, Twitch. Thank you, Twitch. Thank you, Papa Bezos. Please don't ban me. Please don't ban me, Papa Bezos or Mama Susan. Alright? Since this is going to be going up on YouTube afterwards, as well as all my other streams. As for you, hint, hint, self-promotion, hint, hint. Alright. Let's put the rest of the stuff away. And then your boy needs to use the boy's room. So, you know what? Pump some iron. Let's pump some iron real quick. This'll doesn't have an animation, so it basically means he's gonna lay at a weird angle for a minute while I go and use the restroom. I will be right back. Don't go anywhere, gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. Hello, we're back. We're back. Welcome. Hello, hello. Well, I just welcomed myself back to my stream. How strange. Do I work tomorrow? Yes, I do work tomorrow, 11 to 6. So I will most likely not be streaming tomorrow. So if you want to play some games tomorrow evening, perhaps, I would be very down to play some mechs, some Mech Warrior or some War Thunder. I need to do some grinding in War Thunder, but it is painful. It is pain. That game is pain, and I love it. That is the only game where I'm like a masochist for. All right, everything is pretty much looking good for Genzeric as far as skills. Dodge could be a little higher. Even when you are wearing armor, dodge does help if you get staggered to avoid getting the ever-living fuck beaten out of you. How's Jin's? Jin's already at 49. Okay. I think Jin and I can make the run ourselves. So, what I'm going to do... I know I said I didn't want to do this immediately, but I'm going to do the quick save and quick load to fix his AI so that he will eat on his own and I won't have to force feed him the entire time. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to put my sword away first. Alright, I don't want to risk losing the sword. We can't risk losing the sword. The sword is why we're here. The sword has given us strength. Alright? And the resolve needed to come out of this. Alright? So what we're going to do, we'll leave the sword behind. Just Genzeric and Jin. So Jin, first thing, go rest up. You're gonna need it. You're gonna need it. The gun is good. Thank you, Sniper Shot, for gifting yet another sub. Thank you. Really appreciate it. And welcome to being subbed to this pit of despair. Enjoy your Chad emote. Alright? I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of the 30 minutes I spent in GIMP making that emote. As well as the others. There's some pretty good ones in there. I'm pretty proud. This guy has 17 in martial arts, you know. If we did have to beat somebody off, whoa, hey there, hey yo. If it did come down to a fight, he would do okay. Methinks. But he's still a little malnourished, unfortunately. He's still a little malnourished. So, let's go ahead and grab a backpack for him. It's not much, but we have the Darkened Adventurers backpack. And he's gonna grab a sleeping bag. Go ahead and put that in the backpack. Go ahead and turn off jobs so he can grab a little bit of food for the trip for them. Alright, it's not gonna be a super long trip. We can just call it good at that. And Genzeric. Alright, it's time for the boys. I'm actually gonna put them in the same squad for now. Excellent. These two, we're gonna first head out for Squin. I think we're gonna take the long way around. Look at those beautiful emotes. Look at that crying Melvin. Look at the Spider-Men pointing at each other. Jesus, man. The crying Soy Jack. Alright. Melvin. Honk. And Honk increases. And the Chad. The Chad himself. Alright. The Chad himself. I do need to clean up the Boomer Sip emote. Do you say if you baked? As in, like, bake bread? Or bake my brain with the laser lettuce? Because one of those is true and one of those isn't. And I'll leave it leave it to you to guess which is which. I have made my own bread. I made some blood bread a while back. That was pretty gnarly. Uh, shit's good though. So my parents, when I was young, both worked full time, so I spent a lot of time with my grandma. And my grandma told me when I was young, with your attitude, you will never get a woman to cook for you, so you better learn or you will starve. And I found out that I actually really liked cooking and baking, so I haven't done a lot recently, but I do dabble. I do dabble on occasion. You want to make a cake out of pinto beans? That sounds disgusting. I'm in. Say no more. I'm in. It sounds if it sounds horrific, I'm in. Fish and bean cake. All right. How about some fermented fish in pinto bean cake? Dried powdered fermented fish. Oh god, I'm making this worse with every word. Making this worse with every sentence. Disgusting. I'm going to make myself, you know, the old little hua. Please don't. I am curious and horrified. I am curious and horrified, both at the same time. I do have a Discord. The link in the bio below should work. If not, I will post a link. Just mail it to him. Yes. 342 Negro Arroyo Lane, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Wait, that's Walter White's. That's Walter White's address. And you're saying The Simpsons. It's actually nice. And mind you, I do enjoy some beans. I do enjoy some beans. That's still nothing crazy at the Tech Hunter bar. What about the technician's shop here? Indeed. Indubitably, yes. I will take a look at that when I'm done streaming, though. If, oh, that's not... Oh, yeah, we got an engineering research. Hell yeah! Those are rare. Yeah, it's gonna cost us a decent bit of our money. We'll still be left with some money by the time we're done with this little pilgrimage. Now, we're gonna have to cross the spider plains. Let's go ahead and just book it across the desert. Let's go ahead and leg it. We're already taking the long way around, so I'd like to cut a little bit of that out, but I also just want to give the swamp a wide berth. Maybe bring you coffee before work? Like 10 a.m.? I'm probably going to be, like, a little indisposed, because I intend to actually, like, do some things in the morning before I head out. If you're not doing anything tomorrow, though, like, you stop by my office. That'd be cool. It's always cool. It's always cool to have friends come into work. I'll be there at 11 till 6 o'clock. And mind you, I might be slightly busy part of the time, but it's a Friday. Oh yeah, it's Friday tomorrow. Fuck, it's gonna be busy. But yeah, I'll probably have some time to chat. I'll have some time to chat. Then we can play some games when I get off work. Alright, now I need you to cut south, bro. Oh, Hub Industries is under attack. Sisyphus, get out of there, you fool! You said I'm passive. What is wrong with you? Lead them to the gates. Lead them to the gates, my boy. Yeah, that'd be awesome, bro. I always enjoy it. Servilius, you too. Get out of here. Lead them to the gate. Lead them to the gate. Stop doing your jobs. Now lead them to the gate. Like, be the bait to get them to the gate. Perfect. Now the guards will handle him. Ooh. And of course, neither of them have a medkit. Pythagoras, heal Sisyphus, please. Heal Sisyphus, please. Old world measurements. So I do understand metric measurements. My wife is from South America, and I've spent a decent amount of time traveling the world. I do understand, and in the military, so therefore I do understand metric measurements quite well. I know that most freedomers do not, but I am not most freedomers. I am not most Americans. Plus, in my younger years, I sold weed, so I had to know grams and grams and milliliters. Yeah, fair enough, Whiskey Rose, fair enough. I can appreciate the gumption, and appreciate the thoughtfulness that as a burgerlander, as a burgermeister, that I may not understand the esoteric units of the dwellers of the O, or really the dwellers of the rest of the world. To be fair, everyone that matters except for America. Though there were some weird ones still in use for a long time. Obviously, you've got UK measurements like stone and yada yada yada. But like the Russians had their own really weird measurement systems for a while. I know the Chinese Empire, the Qing Empire had their own systems of measurement that were quite esoteric. Oh, I forgot nicotine existed for the first like hour and a half of this stream. I was wondering I was getting so tense and anxious. Ah, my old friend Nicotine. Welcome back, my old friend. Alright. Now this may be the leg of our journey where we have to stop and let the game load quite a bit. Or at least slow down. Excellent. Did you send it on Twitch, or did you send it to the Discord? I can't really look right now because Kenshi unfortunately hates me, and if I alt-tab out of this, it will resize it and will cut off a good portion of the right side of the screen. I only discovered this when I was looking over the VOD from the last stream. I discovered it by accident, and I was incredibly embarrassed that for the latter half of the first stream of this playthrough, that right about here, from right about here over to the right, was all cut off. Put it in chat as well. Bean cake, 1.5 cup, 190 grams of peanuts. I do love peanuts. 2 cans of pinto beans, drained. Copy that. Grind again. Peanuts and beans are actually a really good mix, so I can appreciate that. Which makes me bowl and add an order 3/4 cup of honey. Okay, I am a raw honey enjoyer. Melted butter, of course. Baking powder, of course. Do a cheesecake style baking dish. I'm sure I have one of those somewhere in grandma's things. Yeah, it actually seems really easy. I might try that, or I'll give the recipe to my wife and have her struggle with it. See, I enjoyed baking and cooking a lot more when I had to do it which sounds strange. When I was a single man and lived on my own, though I really didn't live on my own for that long, because most of my adult life outside of the army, I had my dad living with me, because my dad was quite profoundly disabled. And so I did most of the cooking. He did some of the cooking, but I did most of it. Because if I didn't, he would eat like Totino's party pizzas and microwavable banquet meals. So I was like, dude, you gotta eat better than that. So I would make food. And especially since at the time I was from, ages like 25 to like 28, 29, I was kind of getting into like powerlifting, bodybuilding, that kind of stuff. So I was cooking a lot. But anyways, now that I'm married, I rarely cook unless I'm teaching my wife a recipe. Because I don't mean to dog my wife. My wife is a great woman, but when we got together, she didn't know how to cook at all. She had just never learned. She only knew like the very basics. She's improved a lot. She's become quite a good cook, or at least a good like journeyman cook. All right, so we're here. All right, so we're going to pick up Genzrick. We're gonna turn his ass in. We're gonna turn his ass in. All right. We're gaming the law here. Let me guess. Someone stole your dust switch. As someone who is half Scandinavian, I am allowed to make jokes about all Scandinavians sounding like Nords from Skyrim. I'm allowed. I get a pass on that one. Yep, take him. Take him and then come back so I can bail him out. I'm here to bail out a friend. Alright. Perfect. We no longer have a bounty with the United Cities. We are good. We are free and clear with this faction now. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Now, see if now that we are free and clear with our money, I've gotta rearrange. This is gonna bug me. Genzrick always comes first. With ladies and his men. Hey, yo! Who are you? You're a drug peddler. Talk to. He doesn't want to talk. Alright. Let's trade. Let's trade. Hey, you got an ancient science book. I will take that. We are hoarding those. We are hoarding those. We'll get some of the like cosmetic stuff. Blueprints for cosmetic stuff that's cheap. Because why not? Broken furniture I don't care about though. That's like just literally useless stuff that just takes up space. I'm not going to build anything like that. And let's see, what else do we have here? A general shop? I'll check that out before we go. A few residential buildings. You know, we could set up a little bit of an industry here ourselves. If we wanted to. And that would also kind of make logistics easier if we were going to trade things between the hub and Clownsteady. Occasionally make peanut butter frost. Ooh. See, now that does sound good, because one of my favorite like guilty pleasure breakfast foods is a big old Belgian waffle with peanut butter and real maple syrup. I'm a peanut butter enjoyer. What can I say? I am a peanut butter enjoyer. I rather enjoy it. It's one of my favorite foods. Well, let's see what they got for blueprints. A lot of it we already have because we robbed a weapon shop a while back. I'm not going to pay 15,000 cats for a blueprint. No, thank you. Yeah, a lot of these are going to be really expensive. So we might stay in town. Yeah, we're going to stay in town overnight. And we're going to rob this place fucking blind. We're going to rob this place for all it's worth. Methinks. Should we? Yeah. Yeah! Become the military-industrial complex. I always rob the robot. True, I could rob the robot place for massive money. But right now, the point of this heist is not to make money, but weapons and blueprints. But I mean, we can make some. We'll make good money while we're at it. But anyways, something I wanted to unveil. All right, because this is not going to be a super long stream tonight. Ooh, for the true. I don't really have anybody super trained up in crossbows yet. I did start training up Genseric on crossbows because I do have the shoddy firearms mod installed. So there are muskets. Now, mind you, there's going to be one kind of a slightly immersion breaking thing, is that the muskets don't make... They make a crossbow sound. But they're very slow to reload, not super accurate. But if you hit, they do shit tons of damage. However, I have... Playing with the shoddy firearms mod and the Tanishigima, you know, the Sengoku Jidai, Warring States period Japanese matchlocks. Playing with those before, I have straight up one-shot killed my own people with friendly fire. So it is something you have to be very careful with. I kind of like the trade-off of that. That, yeah, you can one-shot enemies, but you get one-shot yourself as well. This is the shop I already checked. So let's check the general store. Let's check the general store. Yes, sir. And that's just a red. Why do they make the general store so hard to get into in this town? It's a little wacky. Nothing we really... Oh, yeah. What I was talking about. I've decided where we're eventually going to build our base. I weighed several different options, and we'll talk about what the different options were. So the first option was building a base in the border zone. I have built bases in the border zone before. It's a very easy area. If you take out the Dust Bandits and take out the Black Dragon Ninjas, then the only thing you have to deal with is Prayer Day. And if you're not hostile to the Holy Nation, it's not bad. However, we are hostile to the Holy Nation. And so we would get continually raided by the Holy Nation until they are destroyed, or we are destroyed. So, both locations that I had picked out in the border zone for a base, which was over here, which in one of my other save files that I've been playing, I did set up a base here, and it's actually a really good base. It just, I have to be careful with my gates, otherwise hungry bandits just walk right in. The Holy Nashville, that is the name now. Now, yes, the other location I had scouted out in the border zone is this plateau over here. It's very flat, it's very nice, it's got all the resources we need, and we may eventually build a base here. To farm cactus or something. However, I was like, you know what? I've done a lot of border zone bases. I want to build my main base for my faction somewhere I have never built a base before. So, there is a spot up here in the Fog Islands, I believe it's over here, that is perfect for building a mega base. I decided against it. I still don't want to live that close to the Holy Nation. They're going to raid me either way. Fog Islands is one of my favorite zones. However, I'm not sure I want to live there. I'm not going to live there. Alright. So, then I was thinking about, where is it? Vane. There's a good spot really over here. But, you know, I was like, ah, dude, I'm going to have to... Do I really want to put up with Red Rain all the time forever? No. So I thought about Raptor Island. Raptor Island would be a perfect option if I wasn't going to grow a lot of crops. But I am going to grow a lot of crops because I intend to eventually start producing alcohol and other products. Fabric, right? So the fact that I'd be constantly under attack by swamp raptors, nah, I decided against it. So I have decided on a location, a general location. There's a couple spots in this area that are good for a base. Um, and it's conveniently located near some traders and near some other factions that I want to interact with. And it's going to take a fight. It's going to take a massive fight for us to claim this zone as our own. But once we do claim it, we will not be in a whole lot of danger except for from factions that we piss off by reputation. And so, without further ado, we are going to settle on Fishman Island. We are going to settle on Fishman Island. We're going to conquer it. We're going to kill King Gurgler. And build our base probably over here, I believe. I believe there's a bunch of resources over here and then a bunch of flat area that I can use for farming and putting down buildings, because I don't like putting too many buildings on hills. It looks strange. So we will, even if we come and initially just build the base, we will get continually attacked by the fishmen, by the Gurglers. So to really secure the island, we're going to have to go to the island lab. We're going to have to kill King Gurgler. So that's not going to happen this stream. That's not going to probably happen for the next couple streams, because that's quite an undertaking. We're going to need a good squad. And I'm also thinking about what we will name that settlement. I was thinking, you know, Genseric is named after an ancient Vandal king from late Roman times, so maybe something that has to do with something like that. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. We've probably got a couple streams of this in us before we have to, you know, actually name the settlement. So between now and then, we'll think of something, and I'll probably talk about it in the Discord a little bit, and maybe even have a poll. We'll see. We'll see. If I think of a really good name, I'm just gonna do it though. Let's see. Anything cool at the bar? Not necessarily. A lot of bounty letters and shit, because we have several mods included that add more bounties to the game, which the game desperately needed. Anybody interesting here? A lot of mercenaries. We don't need mercenaries, and we're probably not going to use mercenaries. Oh. Jesus. If we're gonna recruit you, let's fix that face. Let's fix that face up a little bit. Or crown it. You know what? I like the cut of your jib. What are you about, boss? Was always told I'd never make it if I couldn't handle myself with a sword. Well, I'm still alive, ain't I? Melting the hearts of my enemies, my cooking one rice bowl at a time. Oh, he's a cook. How about it? Need a cook on your team? Yeah, what's your fee? 6,000 cats. You're hired. You're hired. Croon it. You know what? You do not look like a cook. You're gonna have to be a little wider. You're gonna have to be a little wider. A little thicker. If you want to be a cook. Yes, sir. I like the cut of his jib. He's gonna be one of our hub industries workers. Even though he's a cook, he's got 60 cooking. I'll probably also make him a farmer eventually. For now, I'll probably put him to work. If I was going to go with a Eldritch, like Cthulhu-based name, I would probably go with Relea. Something actually from the Cthulhu mythos, something like that. But that is a good thought. Something fish or nautical themed might be damn, Shek Mommy, you got fucked up. Shek Mommy got fucked up a little bit. But let's see if this Izumi wants to join. Hey, you there? I need employment. I can fix you up, but I really need someone to sponsor my research. So you want to do research? I can appreciate a good brain. How about you come with us? Need some funds first. Kind of broke some stuff at the shop here. 2,500 cats should cover it. Yeah, sure. We'll take her to the plastic surgeon. Like, if I'm gonna have to look at you for the rest of the playthrough, you are not gonna have, I did not... I meant to zoom in on her face. Dude, if I find Infinite Wingwang, he is on the team for sure, and he will be Gensrick's personal bodyguard. People... Okay, I'm gonna say something controversial here. I'm gonna say something controversial for all the Kenshi... For all the Kenshi heads out there, alright? All the Kenshi stands out there, alright? And all the Kenshi enjoyers. Beep isn't my favorite character. Beep is not my favorite unique companion. It is a two-way tie. It is a two-way tie between Infinite Wingwang, purely because of his name, the most based name in existence, and Crumblejohn. Those are my two favorite companions. I know. Beep is still my boy. I still love Beep. But Beep is like a little child that I want to just like swing him around by his feet into a pole. I mean, I just want to hold him and hug him. I don't want him to be in any danger. Wingwang and Crumblejohn are the boys. Alright? The boys, the lads. The absolute lads. Now, anyways, who has the lowest athletics? Izumi, who has 10. Ooh, this is going to be a painful trip back. So I don't think... I want to head out before it gets dark. So I'm not going to rob this place blind tonight. I want to get everybody back to the hub safely, and considering that Gensrick doesn't have his sword, and Jin doesn't have his sword, because I was going to grab it and I forgot. Beep is love, Beep is life. Yeah, he's just not my favorite. He's good. I like him. I like Beep. He's not my favorite. It's like when I tell people that, like, Always Sunny isn't my favorite comedy show. People lose their fucking minds. I'm like, don't be wrong. I like Always Sunny. It is a funny show. I enjoy it. It's just not my fave. It's not my all-time fave. Controversial, I know. But Beep desires to be a fighter. True, but I just don't want him to get hurt. He's so fragile. He's so fragile. And I don't want to put him in the peeler machine so that I can replace his limbs easily. I don't want to cause the poor boy any more pain than needs be. Just because someone desires to be a fighter does not mean it's their destiny. We're all subject to our dharma. I say as a white Christian man in the US of A. We are all subject to dharma. Oh, sorry I stabbed you and ran your car into a ditch. I'm such a Capricorn. You'll cause him mental anguish. I believe the mental anguish of not being a warrior is lesser than the mental and physical anguish of being eaten alive by beak thieves. But fair. Life is not optimal in Kenshi, unfortunately. The world is a cruel place. Crueler still to the naive and the gullible. Why do I keep waxing philosophical in video games lately? I keep waxing philosophical, which is a little silly. Alright. Oh, the swamp! He will never feel complete. He will if he pursues deep meditation, possibly. And meditates on what his true purpose on this world is. Oh, swamp time loading zones. It is fine. Bayless. Swamp. Bayless. Who the frig are you? Nicius. His name is Nicius. Let's just get the frick out of here. Excuse my French. Parlez-vous, let's get the fuck out of here. Oh god, the loading. It wasn't so bad on the way through because we went like more around a little bit and like cut through like right over here and hugged the edge. Now, I am using a mod that increases the AI's preference to use roads, because in vanilla Kenshi, they just don't. Nobody uses the friggin' roads, which bugs me on like an immersion level, so I installed a mod for that. However, sometimes it can make creating custom paths to places a bit painful. A bit painful. If I remember right, the mod is just called Higher Road Preference on the Steam Workshop. On the good old Steam Workshop. The source of... Oh, I thought those were corpses. I thought those were corpses for a minute. Uh-oh. Now, something that is nice, another mod that I have installed which will help us here, is the research mod. Research it yourself. It is very costly, but we can produce our own books, and even ancient science books if we dump enough research into it. We're going to go well around Berserker Camp here. And even engineering research, if you advance it even further. However, they become more and more costly to the point where making one ancient science book costs leather and 15 regular books. And I believe it's like it's like 6 or 8 ancient science books to make one engineering research. So it is very costly. Interested in a way to make stale bread into pancakes. Now that is a recipe I have seen. Or at least it's very similar to a recipe I've seen. Which it is an interesting recipe. I'm not gonna lie though, pancakes, I liked them a lot as a child. I loved pancakes as a child. I'm not super fond of them as an adult. I like waffles every now and again. Every now and again, I eat them fairly often. But that's because I'm trying to gain weight. I lost too much weight during COVID. I got a little skinny. Got a little skinny for my size. Even though I'm still in excellent shape, I'm like 40 pounds lighter than I want to be. Because I used to have decent heft for my size, right? I used to weigh about 90 kilos. I do love crepes. I just do not have the opportunity to have crepes very often. My grandmother, my morfar, used to make crepes with lingonberries, and they were the best. Oh my god. Or excuse me, my farmor, not my morfar, other side of the family. My father's mother. My grandmother, whose house I inherited and that I live in at the moment. I am in my old childhood bedroom as my office now. Got the opposite problem of a lot of Americans. Yeah. Yeah. But then again, like, my family, as far as, like, European immigrants to America go, my family came fairly recently. My family came around the turn of the 20th century. A little after the turn of the 20th century. And, we're from fairly... My father's side of my family being Swedish and Norwegian, stayed quite insular. They moved to northern Minnesota, where fucking everybody is German, Norwegian, or Swedish. Or Polish. At the time, at least. It's a much more diverse area now, but that's a whole other discussion. Anyways, they stayed fairly insular. They kept a lot of their culture. Everyone was Lutheran. Everyone was a member of the Sons of Norway. Everybody went to the local smorgasbords. You know, a lot of the Scandinavian culture was very much alive in my family, and still is, as far as like food culture and just sense of humor, stuff like that. I've noticed a lot. Like, I've made a lot of friends over the past 5-10 years that are Swedes and Norwegians, and like, oh yeah, I realized very quickly we think a lot alike, we act a lot alike, right? And that's not just interpersonal things. It seems to be like some idiosyncrasies there. Um, some common idiosyncrasies, particularly my not great fondness for speaking to strangers in person. I'm great at it when I'm in a work setting because I'm in sales. I have to be, right? And I'm a people person in general, but I just don't like talking to strangers on the street. I'm fucking not fond of it. And I'm American. Everybody talks to strangers on the street here. It's weird to me. I don't know. It's weird. My family doesn't do that kind of shit normally, but um, I completely lost track of what I was talking about. Oh yeah, yeah. Having the opposite problems of a lot of Americans. Fair, fair, fair. But with my family being very insular, right? I grew up just using different terms for certain things than a lot of American kids, right? I talked a little different because now, mind you, I am born and raised in the Pacific Northwest of America, Washington State. All right. Now that is the one local lingo that I use is Washington. I don't say Washington. Washington. That's hard. It's hard. Washington. Washington. It's natural. It's more natural for me to say Washington. All right. But a lot of the lingo that I use comes from my grandmother and my grandfather. That side of the family. My father and Farfar, right? Who spoke with northern Minnesota accent, northern Minnesota lingo, and a lot of that accent and lingo came from the fact that most of the immigrants to that area in the late 19th, early 20th century were Scandinavians, right? That's where a lot of the weird idiosyncrasies of that accent come from. It's a weird Scandinavian American is a weird subculture because at the same time they're very similar to their old world brethren, but at the same time definitely not similar in a lot of ways. Um, Whereas old world Scandinavians have become very not religious. You know, I would say like the lion's share of at least young people in Sweden and Norway today are atheist, agnostic. Um, Scandinavian Americans tend to be religious Lutherans, like very religious Lutherans. Um, just shit like that. You know, Scandinavian Americans tend to be a little more conservative, and then their old world brethren. But you know, that's just a lot of changes that have happened since those groups came to the U.S. Right? It's like Texas Germans. Right? In Texas, you know, the very south fucking end of the U.S. There is a thriving German, or not super thriving anymore, but a quite large Texas German community that kept their language and still speak English and German. However, they're just like Quebecois has become its own very distinct dialect of French. Texas German has become its own distinct dialect of German due to the fact that they basically speak German from 150 years ago, right? And once they were essentially separated from the fatherland, they made up words for things that they didn't have words for, like the skunk, right? The skunk is an animal in North America that is not incredibly common and, you know, was not present in the places that they came from. So they called it the stinkakatze. Stinky cat. Which I rather enjoy that word. I find it quite amusing. Anyways, let's get all of our new recruits. Oh lord. We got the bug. We summoned the abyss. For now, I'm going to put Jin back in the warband squad, and he's going to continue his training. For now, he's going to continue on the treadmill. I want everybody to be fast. That is a requirement that everyone be fast as fuck. Alright. Now. Cronut. You can go ahead and trade that pole hammer off to Gensrick. You're not going to need it anymore. Alright, you're going to be farmer slash cook slash like generic labor. For now, you can go ahead and train on the treadmill, but later on I'm going to find a different use for you. And Izumi as well, you are not going to need that sword. You can keep your medical gear. And, squads, there we go. Cronut and Izumi are both going to go into Hub Industries for now. There we go. But I don't really have specific jobs. Oof, no, I'm not. I don't want you to hit the weights, Izumi. You don't need it. Let's go ahead and send her to the plastic surgeon, though. She looks a little funky. She's looking a little strange. I like my characters to look, you know, decent. So, send you to the old plastic surgeon. Let's pretend you're like South American or something and just go to the plastic surgeon. You don't like how you look? Just go to the plastic surgeon. That's what everybody in Brazil does. Visit America and drove from New York to Florida, and the red line, it was insane. Yeah, so I've been all over the States, and like, one big culture shock was I, grew up in the Pacific Northwest, which the area I'm from is very conservative, but most of the Pacific Northwest is very liberal. And then I joined the Army, and I went to basic training in Georgia in the deep South, and then I was stationed in North Carolina, which is, it's not the deep South, but it's the South. Then when I got out of the Army, I literally drove from one corner of the country to the other. I drove from North Carolina to where I'm from, in Eastern Washington, to in 2 days. A little over 2 days. Alright, Izumi. Damn, she already kicked up. We don't need to fix that. We need to fix that face a little bit, though. Nose is a little wide. These things bug me. Yeah, I'm strange, but... There we go. Let's see here. They're not options for mouth size. Perfect. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That looks a lot better. Methinks. You gotta fix that chin, though. My God. We gotta fix that chin. Nose is fine. Let's fix the chin. Much better. Much better. I guess the closer you get to Florida, the larger the food gets. Same applies to Texas. Same applies to good old Tejas. Alright. Now here's the thing. I am a man of voracious appetite. I eat, even though I don't look like it at the moment, because I'm very active and so I'm quite slender at the moment, I eat a lot of food. I eat, on average, 3,000 kilocalories a day. I need to eat more to gain weight. But goddamn, some of them places in the South give you a lot of food. Now, mind you, when I was driving from North Carolina all the way to Washington, I had to pass through Arkansas. Yeah, eyes don't need to be huge, but... Jaw? veg. Ah. Head width needs to be... Hey, yo. Head width needs to be a little more. I think that looks pretty damn good, boys. I think that looks pretty damn good. But yeah, put your shirt back on. You... Guess it's closer to High German. Oh yeah, sorry I missed that message from before. Yes, it's basically German from the 1800s. Alright, just like Quebecois, French. French from Quebec in Canada is basically French from like 350 years ago. Essentially. With its own idiosyncrasies, of course, and its own words that have been come up with in the meantime. But yeah, I think that's about good. We're not going to spend too much time just tweaking the look of one character. We're not going to really pay that much time looking at her face anyways. She's going to be our second science nerd. Alright, which means she's going to spend a lot of time researching, making books, things like that. So I believe what would be a good idea right now would be... Actually, you know, I'm probably not going to do it right now. Azumi can just chill for now. We'll have her work on, I don't know, melee attack or something, so she has something to do. Or really, Jin should be about done. Jin and Odoaster should be about done with athletics for now. Yeah, they're gaining it really slowly right now, so... Izumi, you can go ahead and get off of that. Odoaster and Jin train on the melee attack dummies. And Izumi, get on the treadmill. I want everybody to have high athletics. Everybody. Everybody. Now, speaking of big food, though, I do at some point want to take the Big Texan Challenge in Amarillo, Texas. The amount of meat Texans go through is insane. Yeah. But then again, I can't judge because I primarily eat meat. I like meat. It's what I prefer to eat most of the time. And mind you, I eat veg and rice and all that good stuff. Lots of taters. Lots of sweet potatoes, actually. I've adopted a lot of Brazilian cuisine into my life now that I'm married to a Brazilian. And I dig it. Lots of root vegetables, which I grate as a man of Northern European descent. Okay, root vegetables go hard. They go very hard. They're one of my ancestral foods. I do enjoy a good parsnip, but yuca, things like that, very delicious. A lot of meat in Brazilian food as well. A lot of meat. They enjoy their meat cooked on a big rotisserie. Which, to be fair, it's delish. It's very good. Now Gensrick can take his sword back. Alright. And Jin, I need you real quick. I know you're busy training, but you're kind of well ahead on your training anyways. You're already quite a good fighter. I'm gonna need you to pick up your friggin' sword. I'm not gonna give him a ranged weapon again yet, because I don't trust him with it. Just to be real, I don't trust him. I don't trust him that much with a crossbow yet. We'll see. Well, once again, I will be playing this save a little bit off stream. I'll be not trying to make massive amounts of actual, like, tangible progress on our goals, but just like kind of like grinding people's stats up, get them in some fights, making some money a little bit. You know, just being comfy, just being comfy in the game. We do have to get him a wolf helmet, though, right? All of our war boys have to have a wolf helmet. That's like the theme we're going with, because look how badass Gensrick looks in his friggin' wolf helmet. Alright, now mind you, he looks badass without it, too. Alright, he's a bad motherfucker. But the wolf helmet adds a touch, alright? It adds a touch. Love how Prussia popularized potatoes. I am somewhat familiar with it, but it's not something that I recall a ton about offhand. I know I've watched like some mini history docos on YouTube about it. It's like some salmonella kind of shit, you know? Some real good educational content. All right, so these two will get their stuff up to a good degree. Odoaster is weak as shit, but we will forge him into a warrior. And luckily, Jin is already a pretty good warrior. We picked up the right one. Oh, he's actually really good with turrets and crossbows. So eventually, maybe, because eventually we're gonna have like a melee squad and a ranged squad. And Jin will probably end up being the captain of our ranged squad eventually, since he's already pretty damn good with this stuff. He's got great skills for it. He's got 53 perception. He is already good, but we will make him even stronger. Now Odoaster needs a lot of work. He needs a lot of work, but he will eventually also become amazingly strong. Now. I know it hasn't been long, but it hasn't been too long. It's not been a crazy long stream. Obviously, it's only been... Oh, wait, no, we will... The Hit and Bolt squad. True. I know it was one of the Fredericks, yeah, you're right on that. Let's make sure we're back from the ads. Sorry about that. Ads hit once again, thanks Twitch. But I think we're going to leave off for tonight because I need to put some food in my stomach before I need to go to bed. And I will also have to be going to bed in the next hour and a half or so to get some good, restful sleep for work, because I just know it is going to take, as per the usual, it's going to take me 3 to 4 hours to fall asleep. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, but it's going to take me a couple hours to get to sleep. Because, you know, lol, sleep issues my whole life. Oh, if I get a chance to try it, I will. Because I'm weird, I'm crazy, I'm psycho. Now, but we will be continuing this. Most likely next week. Because this weekend I'm probably not going to have too many more opportunities to stream. I'm going to try maybe Saturday or Sunday. Sunday is more likely, but most of my streams for this week will be a sleep apnea machine. I have been tested for sleep apnea. I do not have it. My breathing during my sleep is fine. It is basically just general insomnia that I've had. Basically, we discovered I had insomnia as a kid when I was 6 or 7 years old, and my dad worked late because he worked at a gun store during the day and then was a cop at night. He did short shifts at the police department as a reserve officer, and then eventually became a full-time cop for a while. And he would work swing shift at the police. He would work mornings at the gun store and then work a full swing shift sometimes at the police department, which was like 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. And he would come home at 1 a.m. and I'd still be awake just playing like Sega in my room. My mom would have gone to bed, then I'd get back out of bed and just play Sega because I was bored and I couldn't sleep. Even though I was a very active kid. I was a very active kid, so it wasn't like a lack of exercise or anything like that. I've just always had trouble sleeping. I would say my average is probably about 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night, my whole life. So I'm just used to it. It does cumulatively wear on me, and every now and then I'll basically sleep binge, where for like 2-3 days in a row I'll sleep like 10-11 hours a night. But it doesn't happen very often. It happens maybe 2-3 times a year. Or when I take certain supplements, I will sleep a little bit better. Certain supplements will help. Not melatonin, not what you would think. Melatonin doesn't do shit for me except give me bad dreams. And by supplement I mean something that was an experimental prescription drug that ended up not being FDA approved. So unfortunately I can't get it anymore. It was going to be approved for over-the-counter use, but it did not end up getting approved for over-the-counter use. So unfortunately, can't take it anymore legally. And so I'm just not going to. I don't want to fucking risk my freedom over being able to sleep a little better. But, is what it is. Anyways, thank you so much, everybody, for coming by, um, hanging out with me. Whether you're watching this right now, as we're streaming it on Twitch, or whether you catch the video later on YouTube, I really appreciate it. And if you are watching this on YouTube, let's hit that motherfucking like button a little bit. Just big thumbs up, shill, subscribe, shill, self-shilling. No, I'm just kidding. Only if you want to. Only if you want more of this wacky shit that I come up with in my head to stream and play. Same. Yep. Doesn't affect me. But anyways, thank y'all for coming by. Have a wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, or night. Whatever the hell it is where you're at. It is the same as it is here. Oh, by the way, sorry. It is youtube.com/@Tyrvarg. Capital Tyr, capital Varg. Thank you very much. Everyone have a great night. We will be seeing you again soon in Kenshi, and probably War Thunder, and probably a bunch of other shit too. See y'all later.